Hello, welcome to another video. We are going to be looking at the Lego Star Wars Mos Eisley cantina set. This one I really liked. It's just very open, I don't know, lots of possibilities with this one. We're going to start off with you have a little shop here, side building, you have this little speeder, you have the main cantina, and you have an additional speeder. We'll go and look at the smaller things first here, being the little speeder. This is what I believe it was shown briefly in the episode, kind of just passing by. But here it is. You can fit a little figure in there with his seat and his controls. Cool little door that opens. So there's that piece. Next piece is kind of more of two pieces. The thing about this set is they make it a little bit modular. You have two little connectors that you can disconnect if you desire, which I don't usually, but for the sake of showing you, we can show you. You can just pull that right off and put it wherever you want. So this, you have a tiny little shop here. Whoops. I'll figure out where that goes. Lots of details on the exterior. You got the junk piles in the barrel, boxes, lots of cool little stuff. The great thing about these is the roofs do come off. Let me just angle this downward a little. The roof does come off for a bigger access on the inside, which is nice, being able to really see inside of the build. There's a gun in this cooking pot, which I probably just put there. You got a saw, some binoculars, shovel, little bucket. This thingy, whatever it is, I believe went in there. And you have the other portion of I think this is more of a house. Maybe it's a workshop, I don't know. But in here, you have the crystal of some sort. Don't really know what that's supposed to be. There's a torch up there in the top. You have a little crowbar and a barrel. So really neat little portion on the side there. The roof and stuff clicks on there pretty easy, not too hard to get off, which is always nice when you're trying to access a build and you can never get the roof off. Next we're going to go over this little piece. This is kind of what my interpretation is as a Jawa shop. A little Jawa inside, selling his stolen goods, most likely. It's a little dusty up there. Real fabric piece there. Cool thing, whenever you see one of these little domes on the build, they can always go up. This particular piece isn't very helpful because there's that big divider in the middle, but again you have more kind of just miscellaneous junk on the outside, which is really applicable to the scene of the movie. The whole town, planet, city, whatever you want to call it, is a pretty junky place. On the outside is neat. You have this little sliding door which you can pull up, and I believe there's a stud somewhere that you can get it to stay up rather than fall back down, which is a nice little feature if you wanted to keep it up. Aside from that, it does open up, which is nice. You can see the entire contents. You have a gun on the wall, a broom, and you have our little Jawa man over here at his booth. He can't really step on the ground with his gun in his hand, or his what do you call it, stun gun. So I used that to keep him mounted to the plate. And yeah, there's something in this barrel. I think it's just another crowbar. That's the little piece there. And once you're done with it, you can close it up and reconnect it. Just like this. Maybe. Just like this. So looking at those little clips shows you this could be clicked on somewhere else. There's a little port here that you could probably maybe click them on. Just shows that there's lots of different possibilities and diversity when considering where to put it, which is really cool. Next up we have this speeder. One thing about this I will say is when I bought it, the window had these nice pre-scratches right into it. You can sort of see them. It's a little bit harder on the camera, but it was not put in a bag, it was just loosely in the box. Or maybe it was in a bag, I can't remember, because the surrounding pieces really scratched it up, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. You got the controls, you have a spot for a person in the back here, and that's really all there is to this. It's mainly just a piece that looks cool. Not too much functionality involved. So there's that. Obviously, next up you have the main portion of the set and the build. I'm going to go ahead and just take this camera off the tripod for this, just to show more of a look on the inside. So we have the two stormtroopers here chilling in the front. Don't know if they're talking to each other, but I'd say they're just guarding the front door. Over on the side here you have a, I can't remember what this thing's called, I think it's a dewback. D-E-W, dewback. It's a little bit dusty. It's been sitting on my shelf for a little while. But this guy here, he can come off of the little stable. You can see his little stable here. He's got a water trough and a bone. This piece is for if you don't want him to be domesticated or you know, captive, you can take off that saddle, which I can try to hopefully not do that. Let's give it a try. We're going to put that back on. Come on. There we go. Saddle comes off, and this piece can click on. And just like that, he is more natural. I'm not going to push that back on because that'll probably be a lot harder to take off than this one was. But there he is. He's got a mouth that opens somehow. There we go. Oh, wow. There we go. Just like that. His nostril, don't let it be confused with his eyeball. They look kind of like they could be eyes. And there's a little spot for you to put his feet in here. Just like that. It comes with two of these towers here, one over here, one over here. Both of them can be detached from the main structure if you wanted to, and cause it to be more just moved around. You can just customize it, which is neat. On the side here, you have just kind of another pile of junk. Just kind of how this place is. Some binoculars in there, chests that can come off and move all these things around. Just really adds a lot of potential for your own scene, your own story. The back part here is kind of a back door side entrance. It has a little roof. The thing about this area, in the instruction book, they have like a detailed written description on certain builds, and this was one of the highlights of the instructions. It said how in the movies this room was not shown or depicted, and so Lego, I guess, got permission or the privilege of deciding how it should look. I don't know, they were really proud of it, so I thought I'd mention that. But that's the storage room. We'll get it from the front angle so that we can see what that looks like from the front. we'll rotate this around. And you can see from up here, it's kind of hard to see inside of the place, which is okay because this can come off and you can put that aside if I can find a safe place for it. And you can see a little bit better, but still not great. Don't worry though, because the whole thing actually opens, which is really great. I think it's a essential, completely necessary feature for this build to completely open up the way it does. And if you look, it changes the whole entire dynamic of the set. You can fit tons more figures. You can, you know, make it how you want it. But we're gonna go ahead and look at this side first. And over here you have the front door, which I didn't actually open from this side where the stormtroopers were, but it can open up as you would expect. There is a little piece up here where you can peek inside. You have a small seating area, a lamp. R2-D2 and C-3PO are waiting here because droids are not allowed inside of the cantina. Technically I broke the rules and brought them inside, but I just looked at it as this is where they're allowed to go. You got these two guys over here. I don't know any of these characters, so sorry about that. They're in the movie at some point, I'm sure. Over here you have the famous spy, whatever his name is, who rats out C-3PO, or not C-3PO, Han Solo and all of them. On the roof you have panels. Each of these can come off with a little bit of effort. In here we have the corner rooms are the bigger ones on the set, but you got a booth, a drink, and that's kind of that. Nothing really cool and exciting there. This booth over here, again, nothing too, oh, that's great. This piece just broke off. Let me fix that. Sometimes the roofs can be a little pain to pull off. But you just got two chairs. We won't go too in depth into those. In this booth you got two guys chilling. Mr. Weird Long Neck Eyeballs. Over here you have the center bar with cool features and builds. All these little components to symbolize the flowing system. You have some sort of a register system in the back there potentially. And you got some drawers here. These drawers do open. There is something inside. Don't remember what. I can't open it. My fingernails are not present at the moment. Over here you have a cool little opening on the side. Little door that swivels open. Let's see if we can look at it in here now from a better perspective. Not particularly. Maybe right here. This room's really kind of hard to get to. The light isn't very, oh my. The light can't really reach in there too well. I bet if I took this thing off, yeah, that's what I wanted, but that'll work. So there's that. You have some cleaning stuff, extra bottles. On this side of the wall there's a little picture of R2-D2 and C-3PO hanging out. Let's go ahead and put this back up here so that we can fix that before I forget how it goes. Over here we have the band of aliens, which is neat. They gave them a little stage, a tiered stage that they can all hang out up there. Kinda nice to do that. Over here we have the famous scene of Han Solo and Greedo. There's a little feature in the back that's right here, if you pull these little levers, it will actuate the seat, and it will basically, hypothetically, act as if they got shot. Kind of drastic and exaggerated, but that's okay. The reason they put two, which is discussed, I believe, also in the instruction manual, they talk about how there is a division within the community on who shot who did it first, basically. In the movie, if you watch it closely, there's no real distinction, or at least I haven't paid attention to it, but a lot of people say it was Greedo, a lot of people say it was Han Solo, and there's like a debate on who actually took the first shot. So that's just a little thing that they put in there, because you can decide if it was Han or Greedo who took the first shot. Over here we got Chewbacca, cool little guy, and we have Luke and Obi-Wan. Obviously they're not having a lightsaber battle, but I just thought that'd be a great place for them to sit. And you have a corner room in here. Another one. This corner room is actually kind of a pain. I've never been able to figure out and perfect the way they want me to take this piece off. Almost 90% of the time, something breaks off and the roof doesn't come off the way it should. Mainly, I believe it's because of this piece going underneath that piece. So a lot of times this piece will just fall off, and it's kind of a poor design, in my opinion. Why they decided that, I don't really know, but there's the inside of that. And that is the cantina. We'll put that back on there, or try to. It's, like I said, kind of a pain. But that's the whole set. Basically everything there is to it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.